Hey everybody, welcome to another video with me, Diamond Racing. Excuse I tried everything, but it just doesn't want to get better, if you know what I'm saying. I'm at that phase with Maya. Today I'm going to do the Singapore review, do my rankings from 20th to 1st, my F1 Fantasy. If you want to skip that, you can. And then at last, I'll show you my Singapore predictions and my predictions for Suzuka. So yeah, let's get into it. Why not? If you like these kinds of videos, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And yeah, this is just my opinion. So yeah, let's get into it. P20 is going to be Lance Stroll. He only had qualifying and he crashed out massively. So definitely P20 for him. Couldn't fix the car for the race, so I can only go on qualifying, and the qualifying was bad. P19 is going to be Yuki Tsunoda. Same with Stroll, only had qualifying to work on. I didn't count his race because he didn't finish a single lap. And he was kind of a disappointing qualifying. He didn't get a lap in at Q2, was P1 and Q3, and Q1, but that doesn't count because that isn't for place. So I only count his Q2 lap, and he didn't finish it for some reason. I think he was blocked by Verstappen, and at the second run he made a mistake, and that's why he was P15, while his teammate, the rookie, was P10, out qualifying both Red Bulls, so that's why it's only P19. P18 is going to be Logan Sargent. Wasn't fast in qualifying, was out in Q1, and then crashed in the race. I hope he gets his things in order before the end of the year, because I think Williams should probably think about getting Lawson a seat instead of Logan Sargent if there isn't place for him at the team at AlphaTauri. P17 is going to be Sergio Perez. Qualifying disappointment, made a mistake, spun, and then the race was just, he hit Yuki, he hit Albon, he made a mistake. I don't understand it. I don't know how Red Bull are confident in keeping him at the team. I don't know how they are doing that. But Sergio Perez is going to be P17. P16 is going to be Zhou Guanyu. Now Zhou had a very solid race in my opinion. Qualifying didn't do as good as his teammate. Started from the pit lane, and I actually had a solid race. Didn't make any mistakes, but a lot of people in front of him did. But still, it wasn't anything special. But it was good enough not to be lower than the people here. P15 is going to be Nico Hulkenberg. Got out qualified by his teammate. Both were in Q3, I think, but Hulkenberg dropped back massively, and the gap between him and Magnussen in the qualifying was quite big. But yeah, I didn't think he would be good at this track, and I was right. But Hulkenberg, P15. P14 is going to be Leclerc. Leclerc was just a little bit behind Sainz, but in the race, it was just, I know he the team play and everything, but after the pit stops and everything, Sainz was almost 20 and more seconds on the same tire ahead of Leclerc, and then he kept Lando behind, and then so it should have been more. So I don't understand where Leclerc's pace has been gone. So, and Sainz is just doing good, but still, Leclerc only P14, a lackluster weekend for him. Hopefully he can bounce back in Japan. P13 is going to be Alonso. I think Alonso had a solid qualifying. His race was a little bit more of a nightmare. Made a mistake, got a penalty. But then he had like a 25 or 35 second pit stop with Aston Martin, and that's why I was last. So Alonso could have done much better, but he didn't do as bad. He just made one mistake, and that's cost him in this ranking. It was a very close ranking this time, in my opinion. But yeah, Alonso P13. P12 is going to be Lewis Hamilton. It's going to be a controversial one, but he didn't do good in qualifying. against his teammate with the gap, the time gap. That's what I count. I don't count how many places it's back, but it was a very big gap between those two, one of the biggest gaps I think. And he had actually a very decent race, couldn't get past Russell, tried to do the team game. Russell crashed out in front of him, and so he took the place from there. But Mercedes had a very good strategy call, and if it wasn't for that, I think he would have probably ended in P5, no, P4, because Russell crashed out. So yeah. P11 is going to be George Russell. He was my driver for qualifying, but then he crashed out. He made a mistake, went to the wall. That's on his own accord, and he has to be punished for that. So he actually had a very good race and a very good weekend overall, but that one mistake cost the team and himself a lot of points. P10 is going to be our championship leader, Max Verstappen. This is the lowest he's been the whole season, and Verstappen had a nightmare of a race. I don't think the Red Bull car itself was very good at all. In qualifying, he made a mistake, and in the race, he actually made very good ground, even though Red Bull made a hilarious, stupid Ferrari type of strategy call, which I still don't get, but he still finished P5 after all of that, so that's pretty good. P9 is going to be Valtteri Bottas. I was hard qualifying, out-qualified his teammate, and then in the race he actually did very good until his engine went kaput. So that's all I can say. Solid race for Valtteri Bottas. P8 is going to be Piastri. Now Piastri had a very big gap from Norris, and I don't think he has the new upgrades that Norris has. But he did good in the race, made the most position up by everyone in the grid, so that was very good. And who knows, maybe next time we'll get his first podium. I really hope so. P7 is going to be Pierre Gasly. In qualifying at a little bit of a stinker, I think. P14, 13, I think was ahead of Perez. And then in the race, he made up a lot of ground. Was very good. I think he was one of my top drivers of the race. But unfortunately, his teammate didn't finish the race. And talking about his teammate, P6 is going to be Esteban Ocon. He had a better qualifying than Gasly, and the race was very good. Made very good overtakes. And then when it was P6, I think his engine just gave up on him. But it was a very good race for Ocon. That's why he's ahead of Gasly. I think if he didn't DNF, he would have finished ahead of Gasly. Probably, maybe a bigger chance. P5 is going to be Kevin Magnussen. Now, Kevin Magnussen had a very good qualifying, his second best qualifying of the year, but he had also a very good race, finishing in the points again. And I think he deserved that points, so that's why he's P5. P4 is going to be Alex Albon. Again, did the best he could in qualifying, and then in the race he should have been in the points, but Sergio Perez forgot that he's an F1 car, not in bumper cars, and he hit him and he fell off like a rock, but still made up positions to finish, I think, P11 or 12. So Albon had a mixed bag of a race, but still very good. Very glad for Albon. P3 is going to be Lando Norris. Had a very good qualifying with the new upgrades. A very solid race. Couldn't get past Sainz, but still, he and Sainz had a good team up. And yeah, I finished P2. Solid race from him. Did nothing wrong. And yeah, very glad for Norris to be in P2 again. P2 is going to be Liam Lawson. Now, I've been very impressed with this guy. Out-qualifying the two Red Bulls, Max Verstappen. I know the cars aren't as quick, but the AlphaTauri can't be quicker. No way. And then in the race, he scored a P9. I think he should have been a P8. Perez should have gotten a 10-second penalty for what he did during the race, but he didn't. So, whatever. But he had a very solid race, and I think he deserves a seat in F1. That's not a question anymore. That's a must. And Red Bull have a big problem, because it's his third race in Singapore and he scored his first points, and it wasn't just a point, it was points. I don't know, Red Bull are going to make a horrible mistake keeping Perez and not giving Liam Lawson a chance in Red Bull Junior team. It is frustrating me a lot. P1 is going to be Carlos Sainz. I don't know who else is going to be on P1. He had an awesome qualifying, and then the race, he was like the smartest man on the planet during the race. So what a man. And yeah, that's my top 20. Let me know what you think about my top 20, what you would change, and what do you think I got wrong. Let's quickly over my F1 fantasy. I got 209 points, which isn't bad. Perez was my multiple by 2. He did decent. I wish I gave it to Sainz. Leclerc gave me 22 points. That was actually very good from Leclerc. He had a decent score. Sainz gave me a lot of points, 45. Albon 12. Norris 30. I should have kept Norris as my multiple by 2. I changed it at the beginning of the weekend. Aston Martin only 4 points, with Stroll doing nothing again, and McLaren at 64. This week, go over my predictions of the Singapore Grand Prix. I said my good drive is going to be Red Bull. I don't know how I got that wrong. Probably a curse or something. But that was wrong. My bad drive was Hulkenberg. That was right. I didn't think I had a good drive. Paul Verstappen. When I chose the easy Paul, it didn't happen. My top 5 was Sainz, Leclerc, Russell, Perez, Alonso. Leclerc in P4 is the one I got correct. And my top 5 was first, 4th, DNF, 8th, 15th. Like crazy. My wild prediction was Albon in Q3. That didn't happen. So overall, I scored 2 out of 9 points. Now let's go to my Suzuka predictions and see how bad I will do in this one. My good drive is going to be Liam Lawson. He knows this track, and he's going to finish his Super Formula on this track also. So he probably have a little bit more of a edge on this one. I think he would do good. I don't know if he would outperform Tsunoda, but I think he would probably score another points or get in Q3, maybe Q2. But I think he will have a good run at Japan. My bad drive is going to be Alonso. I think the Aston Martin is slipping away, and I think Alonso is going to make a few mistakes, but Alonso never ceases to amaze, so we'll see about that. My pool is going to be Verstappen. I think the Red Bulls are going to be back to the dominant ways, and my top 5 is going to be 5th place is going to be Sergio Perez, 4th place George Russell, 3rd place Lando Norris, 2nd place Lewis Hamilton, and 1st place Verstappen. I think they will be good again, So, and I think the McLarens and the Mercedes will be better than the Ferrari at Suzuka, and that's why it's like this. And my wild prediction is Hulkenberg is going to score some points. So that's probably a very big wild prediction. But that was my Singapore review and my Suzuka prediction. Please let me know what your predictions are, what you think about my predictions, my ranking. And if you like and subscribe, please do. If you would like, I would appreciate it. See you next week Tuesday for the Japan review. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Cheers.